Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
The act of moving something from one location to another. Hold spellbound. A mechanism that transports magnetic tape across the read, write heads of a tape playback recorder. Something that serves as a means of transportation. A state of being carried away by overwhelming emotion. Move while supporting, either in a vehicle or in one's hands or on one's body. The commercial enterprise of moving goods and materials. Transport commercially. Send from one person or place to another. An exchange of molecules, and their kinetic energy and momentum, across the boundary between adjacent layers of a fluid or across cell membranes. Move something or somebody around, usually over long distances. The act of moving something from one location to another. Act of transferring property title from one person to another. The transmission of information. Something that serves as a means of transportation. Document effecting a property transfer. Transfer from one place or period to another. Transfer somebody to a different position or location of work. The act of moving something from one location to another. Application of a skill learned in one situation to a different but similar situation. Move around. Transfer the packet from his trouser pockets to a pocket in his jacket. Transferring ownership. Change from one vehicle or transportation line to another. The act of transferring something from one form to another. The transfer of the music from record to tape suppressed much of the background noise. Someone who transfers or is transferred from one position to another. The best student was a transfer from LSU. Send from one person or place to another. Lift and reset in another soil or situation. Shift the position or location of, as for business, legal, educational, or military purposes. A ticket that allows a passenger to change conveyances. Cause to change ownership. I transferred my stock holdings to my children. Move from one place to another. Transfer the data. The act of moving something from one location to another. The act of expelling a person from their native land. The sentence was one of transportation for life. The act of moving something from one location to another. The sum charged for riding in a public conveyance. A facility consisting of the means and equipment necessary for the movement of passengers or goods. The commercial enterprise of moving goods and materials. The United States federal department that institutes and coordinates national transportation programs, created in 1966. A feeling of extreme pleasure or satisfaction. His delight to see her was obvious to all. Give pleasure to or be pleasing to. Hold spellbound. Take delight in. He delights in his granddaughter. Something or someone that provides a source of happiness. The new car is a delight. Hold spellbound. Cast a spell over someone or something. Put a hex on someone or something. Attract. Cause to be enamored. Hold spellbound. Hold spellbound. Hold spellbound. Hold spellbound. Force someone to have sex against their will. A mechanism that transports magnetic tape across the read/write heads of a tape playback recorder. A mechanism that transports magnetic tape across the read/write heads of a tape playback recorder. Street names for methyl-N-dioxymethamphetamine. A state of elated bliss. A state of being carried away by overwhelming emotion. The elevation of a person, as to the status of a god. A state of being carried away by overwhelming emotion. A flock of larks, especially a flock of larks in flight overhead. The location of a planet in the zodiac at which it is believed to exert its maximum influence. A state of elated bliss. A state of being carried away by overwhelming emotion. Listening to sweet music in a perfect rapture. A sudden occurrence, or recurrence, of a disease. A state of being carried away by overwhelming emotion. Transmit or serve as the medium for transmission. The airwaves carry the sound. Transfer entries from one account book to another. Have with oneself, have on one's person. I always carry money. Drink alcohol without showing ill effects. He had drunk more than he could carry. Serve as a means for expressing something. Continue or extend. Include as the content, broadcast or publicize. Win approval or support for. Have on hand. Do you carry kerosene heaters? Behave in a certain manner. Contain or hold, have within. Propel. Move while supporting, either in a vehicle or in one's hands or on one's body. You must carry your camping gear. Support or hold in a certain manner. Be pregnant with. I am carrying his child. Be able to feed. This land will carry 10 cows to the acre. Bear, a crop. This land does not carry olives. Bear or be able to bear the weight, pressure, or responsibility of. How many credits is this student carrying? Be conveyed over a certain distance. Be equipped with a mast or sail. This boat can only carry a small sail. Be necessarily associated with or result in or involve. Be successful in. Capture after a fight. Compensate for a weaker partner or member by one's own performance. I resent having to carry her all the time. Cover a certain distance or advance beyond. Extend to a certain degree. Carry too far. Have a certain range. Have as an inherent or characteristic feature or have as a consequence. These bonds carry warrants. Have on the surface or on the skin. Carry scars. Have or possess something abstract. I carry her image in my mind's eye. Include, as on a list. Keep up with financial support. Pass on a communication. Propel or give impetus to. Pursue a line of scent or be a bearer. The dog was taught to fetch and carry. Secure the passage or adoption of bills and motions. Sing or play against other voices or parts. He cannot carry a tune. Take further or advance. Carry a cause. The act of carrying something. Transfer. A number, cipher, or remainder, to the next column or unit's place before or after, in addition or multiplication. Put down 5 and carry 2. Win in an election. Conveyance provided by the ships belonging to one country or industry. The commercial enterprise of moving goods and materials. Transfer. Cause to be directed or transmitted to another place. Send me your latest results. Assign to a station. To cause or order to be taken, directed, or transmitted to another place. Cause to go somewhere. Cause to be admitted. Of persons to an institution. Broadcast over the airwaves, as in radio or television. Transport commercially. Go on board. Transport commercially. A vessel that carries passengers or freight. Hire for work on a ship. Place on board a ship. Ship the cargo in the hold of the vessel. Travel by ship. Transmit or serve as the medium for transmission. A television station and its programs. A satellite TV channel. A bodily passage or tube lined with epithelial cells and conveying a secretion or other substance. Poison is released through a channel in the snake's fangs. A path over which electrical signals can pass. A channel is typically what you rent from a telephone company. Often plural, a means of communication or access. It must go through official channels. A way of selling a company's product either directly or via distributors. Possible distribution channels or wholesalers or small retailers or retail chains or direct mailers or your own stores. A long narrow furrow cut either by a natural process, such as erosion, or by a tool, as e.g. a groove in a phonograph record. Send from one person or place to another. A deep and relatively narrow body of water, as in a river or a harbor or a strait linking two larger bodies, that allows the best passage for vessels. The ship went aground in the channel. A passage for water, or other fluids, to flow through. The fields were crossed with irrigation channels. Direct the flow of. Channel information towards a broad audience. Cause to form a channel. Make a channel for, provide with a channel. Direct the course, determine the direction of traveling. Send from one person or place to another. Cause to form a channel. Channelize a stream. Make a channel for, provide with a channel. Channelize the country for better transportation. Direct the course, determine the direction of traveling. Send from one person or place to another. Transmit or serve as the medium for transmission. Broadcast over the airwaves, as in radio or television. Send from one person or place to another. Transmit a message. Transfer to another. The act of changing location from one place to another. The movement of people from the farms to the cities. A euphemism for defecation. He had a bowel movement. A group of people with a common ideology who try together to achieve certain general goals. He was a charter member of the movement. An optical illusion of motion produced by viewing a rapid succession of still pictures of a moving object. The succession of flashing lights gave an illusion of movement. A natural event that involves a change in the position or location of something. A general tendency to change, as of opinion. A broad movement of the electorate to the right. A change of position that does not entail a change of location. Movement as a sign of life. A series of actions advancing a principle or tending toward a particular end. The movement to end slavery. A major self-contained part of a symphony or sonata. The second movement is slow and melodic. The act of changing the location of something. The movement of cargo onto the vessel. The driving and regulating parts of a mechanism, as of a watch or clock. It was an expensive watch with a diamond movement. Give pleasure to or be pleasing to. These colors please the senses. Be the will of or have the will, to. He could do many things if he pleased. Give satisfaction. The waiters around her aim to please. The atomic process that occurs during a chemical reaction. He determined unique mechanisms for the photochemical reactions. The technical aspects of doing something. A mechanism of social control. A natural object resembling a machine in structure or function. The mechanism of the ear. Device consisting of a piece of machinery, has moving parts that perform some function. Philosophy, the philosophical theory that all phenomena can be explained in terms of physical or biological causes. The act of arranging a piece of music for an orchestra and assigning parts to the different musical instruments. An artifact, or system of artifacts, that is instrumental in accomplishing some end. The act of providing or using the instruments needed for some implementation. The instruments called for in a musical score or arrangement for a band or orchestra. An artifact, or system of artifacts, that is instrumental in accomplishing some end. A subsidiary organ of government created for a special purpose. The quality of being instrumental for some purpose. The general atmosphere of a place or situation and the effect that it has on people. Any incorporeal supernatural being that can become visible, or audible, to human beings. Infuse with spirit. The company spirited him up. Animation and energy in action or expression. The state of a person's emotions, especially with regard to pleasure or dejection. He was in good spirits. An inclination or tendency of a certain kind. The intended meaning of a communication. A fundamental emotional and activating principle determining one's character. The vital principle or animating force within living things.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.